Nick Abbott on LBC.
Now, I just wanted to really say that I love you. I respect you. Mm-hmm. There's nobody I respect more. You're going to do a fantastic job.
Thank you, Donny. So supplies of broccoli are being rationed, say children everywhere. Yay! And customers are only going to be allowed 3 iceberg lettuces each. What are you going to do with 3 iceberg lettuces? Yeah, I'm on about 2 or 3 iceberg lettuces a week now, man, but I can handle it. Here's the tally as it stands. Here's a list of people and places that Donald Trump has picked a fight with so far. Remember, we're only 2 weeks in. Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Syria, Sudan and Yemen. And Canada. And Europe in general, except Russia. And North Korea. And China. And Germany. And little old Australia. Australia! What? And he threatened to invade Mexico. He actually said to the democratically elected leader of their neighbouring country that he had some bad hombres down there. And Donald Trump just might send the U.S. Army into Mexico to deal with them.
I'll bring us into war.
And then there was the beefs with all of the past presidents of the United States, except Abraham Lincoln, who was totally great. And he's fighting with his own Republican senators, Lindsey Graham and John McCain, and the New York Times and the Washington Post, and Vanity Fair, and the media in general, except Fox News, where he gets all of his news, and the University of California at Berkeley, and women who don't dress like women, whatever that means, and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Correct.
He abused Arnold Schwarzenegger from behind a lectern that had the seal of the President of the United States on the front at an event called the National Prayer Breakfast, which is a religious-based event organised by Congress and is something that's supposed to be for political and social leaders to gather together to exchange views in a pious and reflective environment. And then Donald Trump showed up. He used the event to say how great his audience was when he hosted that stupid You're Fired game, the Apprentice reality TV show. His audience was so much bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger's audience, who is doing it now. That's what he said.
Affirmative.
And Arnold sent a message saying that they should swap jobs. He said, we should swap jobs. He said Trump should go back on TV, seeing as he's such an expert, and Arnie could take over as president, and then we'll all finally be able to sleep comfortably again. Correctamundo, Arnie. I'd like to see them in a fight. Just try it, Donald.
I'd like to punch him in the face.
I'll hold your jacket. And the other speaker at that event, by the way, the National Prayer Breakfast, was the chaplain of the U.S. Senate. And he did not use his time on stage saying how much better he was than the person who did the job before him because, he's a grown-up. Donald Trump seems to be obsessed with making people believe that everything about him is the biggest ever. He is totally preoccupied by size. Just listen to everything that he says about anything. It's why he can't get past losing the popular vote by 3 million people to Hillary. He has to invent some reason why he would have had a bigger vote if it hadn't been for a lot of dead people voting. Or he could have had more votes if he wanted to. But he didn't want to get more votes. He just wanted to win the college vote, which is curious, considering how much it seems to bother him now that he didn't win the popular vote. And it's why he sees millions of people that weren't there at his inauguration. I looked out and millions of people. And why would a man with small hands be so obsessed by size? Well, you don't need Dr. Freud to rise from the dead to help us figure that one out. It's why he has his tie so low that it hangs down around his knees. I mean, that's indication enough. He's Donald T. Trumpet. The T stands for tiny.
Oh, shut up!
Donald Tiny Trumpet. There is one thing that he is best at, though. There is one area that he is the most successful of all previous presidents, and that is reaching a majority disapproval rating. Bill Clinton was the previous record holder to get more than 50% of the American public to register their disapproval. And it took Bill Clinton 573 days in office. 573 days of being the president before more than 50% of the American people thought that he was doing a terrible job. 573 days. It took Obama 936 days. George W. Bush took 1,205 days.
Absolutely.
Before 50% of the American people thought that he was doing a bad job. Guess how long it took Donald Trump? 8 days. The previous record holder, 573. Donald Trump, 8. 8 days to get more than half of the country to disapprove of him. He was the least popular president in history before he even took the job. No one is better at being unsuccessful than you, Donald Trump.
I've been successful in every business I've been in.
Now, if you had an employee, if you were the owner of if you are indeed the owner of a business, and you had an employee that was picking fights with everyone around them, hanging the phone up on friends, waking up in the middle of the night to troll celebrities on Twitter, if they were seeing people that weren't there, going around lying about their popularity and telling everybody how great they are, if you were the owner of a company that was hiring somebody like that, you would at the very least send them to Human Resources for a little chat and book them in for some time off and some psychological evaluation. And more probably, you would relieve them of any and all responsibilities and look to fire them. Change all of the codes on the computers and rescind their door key card. But this misfit's the leader of the free world, which he hears and translates as ruler of the universe. What could possibly go wrong? 0345 6060 973. You can call, you can call that number. You can text 84850, email nicka@lbc.co.uk, and if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Richard in Chelsea, this is a very suspicious, very fast, right off the bat text. Not that that concerns me or anything.
Warning, warning.
Let's proceed cautiously. Richard in Chelsea says, critics of President Trump should calm down. He's only been president for 2 weeks. I know, that's the point. He says, we have 4 years to look forward to, possibly 8. Donald Trump has already picked his campaign slogan for next time around, because that's what he likes to do the best, campaigning. He loves the roar of the crowd. He's like a much, much, much older looking and saggier Mick Jagger. Just cannot give up that coursing energy through his veins when he's on stage. It informs absolutely everything he does. He is still in campaign mode. Everything he says and does is like a call and answer thing. I'm going to build a wall. Who's going to pay for it? Mexico. He's building a wall.
I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall.
James says President Trump is the best hope to combat the liberal establishment and the only hope for lasting world peace. You're out of your mind, James. I hate to break the news to you. Seek immediate help. The best hope to combat the liberal establishment. What are you talking about? The liberal establishment? Have you seen the makeup of his cabinet? They're the richest cabinet that ever existed. If they're not multi-millionaires, they're billionaires. What about that does not sound like the establishment to you? Oh, and by the way, the first order of business is, of course, to remove all of those pesky laws, rules and regulations that are limiting the banking racket from going ahead and gorging themselves on everybody else's money again. So that's first off the bat. Because while he was campaigning and saying that Hillary was in the pocket of Goldman Sachs and all the rest of the financial finaglers over on Wall Street, that's exactly who he has hired. His cabinet is absolutely stuffed with the banking establishment and every other kind of establishment that's ever been invented. Combat the liberal establishment. He's not combating the establishment. These aren't people that are throwing out the establishment. These are richer than the establishment. The Who's going to have to rewrite that song. Here comes the old boss, here comes the new boss, even worse than the old boss. Get Roger Daltrey on the phone.
Rock and roll!
Actually, it's Pete Townsend to make the changes. Copyright P. Townsend. 0345 6060 97. Oh, by the way, there may be an explanation to his behaviour, and it involves drugs. Donald Trump is on drugs. And I'll come to that in just a minute. Well, this is what I've heard. And you know what? I could spend all week long looking up the factual basis of what it is that I say on this show, but who cares about facts anymore? If they can make stuff up, so can I. It doesn't matter about facts anymore. Nobody's remotely interested in experts and facts. Everybody's just making stuff up now. These are the new rules. So don't ask me for the explanations and the ins and outs and the details of where I got this information or that information. Just assume that I'm making it all up, just like everybody else is. Donald Trump is mixing his drugs. And I'll tell you what the possible consequences of that of those are, as I come back. 03, I'm also making up grammar. Nobody cares about anything anymore. I could just sit here for 3 hours and do that, and it would sound like a press release from the White House. 0345 6060 973, Nick Abbott, LBC.
They keep London safe every day.
We were doing our...
What the hell is going on?
Picking a fight with Mexico, apparently. President Donald Trump. That still slightly sticks in my throat. I can't believe it, can you? President Donald Trump, are you kidding me? Was Ronald McDonald not available?